What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat. We are here at the Nerd Castle with the next episode of The Forest. In the previous episode, we built ourselves a shelter. I am sad to say that that map is no longer alive. The devs have come through and murdered it. They did a hotfix, but they murdered all the saves. And so saves are now no longer compatible. I had to restart over, but have no fear. This base basically took me, I didn't mean to say it like that. I mean, I sort of did, but as you will see, I just loaded my game. They said that the last hotfix fixed things being invisible in your inventory, and as far as I can tell, it hath not. They are still quite invisible. And so here's our new base. It took me about 30 minutes to throw this thing up real fast. It was just look, and up it came. And so there it is. We are set up at this point. If you guys don't know where we are on the map, if you go straight that way, the area that I'm pointing at with this stick, my stick of direction, if we go in that direction right there, that is where you will find the boat that is out at sea. Let me stab this lizard in the face. Sorry, buddy. It's necessary. It is very, very necessary in order for me to survive. He's like, sure it is. But if it was me killing you, you'd be complaining right now, wouldn't you? I'd be like, yes, I would. Because that exchange is not going in the direction that I would prefer. That exchange is very, very inequitable to me. Now that the lizards are dead, we're a little bit hungry, so I'm thinking I should probably cook up some food. Let's jump up in here. We'll light this on fire, and what adventure doesn't start with somebody lighting something on fire? Isn't that the best way to start out an adventure? It is in my opinion. There has to be at least some amount of flammability in every adventure for it to be worthwhile. I've killed 2 groups of cannibals so far while I was building this thing. They are not pleased with me. In fact, the cave that you res after you die is over that way about, I'd say probably 200 paces. It's a reasonable distance away, but that's what they're going to be spawning in from to try and murder us in between episodes. So hopefully everything will be okay. Hopefully we don't lose this save, because that kind of 30-minute preliminary thing that I have to do each time we play in order to get things back up and running is becoming a little bit cumbersome. It's becoming tiring, but it's alpha. You have to accept these sort of things with a grain of salt. Now, we've got ourselves set up next to 2 different fish ponds, and that's a good thing for 2 different sets of reasons, both of which involving fish. We can get ourselves pretty much an endless supply of food from each of these ponds. You see it right there? There's dinner. I've taken the liberties of naming each fish something that I like in life. That one's name is Soufflé. That one's name is Lucky Charms. That one's name is Gushers. I've basically gone through and named all the fish after all the various foods that I miss now that we're sitting on this ridiculous island. The only thing left that we need to do is build ourselves a little bit of shelter that does not involve this nasty little hay pile over here. That right there does not look like the most comfortable thing to sleep in, especially considering that those leaves are like, I don't know, they're doing like this weird pat the bread patty cake type thing that seems like it would get really, really obnoxious after about 5 minutes of trying to sleep. So what I'm going to start out with in this episode is we're going to put our hunting shelter down. And I'm just going to drop it right there. It may glitch through the wall, but oh well. I'm not really the kind of person to freak out about that sort of thing, especially since, knowing the way that this game has been going, we will more than likely end up with our save deleted before the next 5 episodes anyways, and then I'll be back to doing the same old things over again that I've already done previously. Such is the way things work in this game, and now I've murdered more animals. Ah, well. Agave right there. We're going to take it. That or it's an aloe vera plant. I can't tell. I think agave is a little bit larger. Aloe vera plants are... Actually, I think they're both pretty similar. Never mind. What the hell do I know about anything? I'm not an herbalist. I'm a geologist. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not a botanist. Last I checked, I thought the plane was crashed right here, and I may be walking right by it, but I definitely thought there was a plane over here. I'm going to do my best not to load or save my game. I'm going to try and do this all in bulk today. Alright, we got ourselves some armor. I'm going to try my best to record all these in bulk today so that at least we get a little while with some continuity. Dropping rocks in the water. Unfortunate. I need that rock! All hope is lost! We've dropped our only rock of salvation in the lake. Damn it. Hold still, fish. You would think that animals would be okay with being murdered, and yet they are not. They are not okay with that. They are not down in Murder Town. Hey, that stick very clearly went through you, fish. There we go. Okay, and so our food supply is looking really, really good right now. We got ourselves a ton of fish. I mean, the fish and the loaves, I think, are taken care of right now. Let's go ahead and combine that into a mace. And now that we've got our mace... Oh, there's a big old squad of those guys over there. Let's get low, because that's a larger group than I know how to deal with. That is an enormous group of hunters. I think that was 7 or 8 of them. And so I want to go off this way and basically just not be near them, because they smell bad, they're oily, that's why they catch on fire so much. They're just generally unpleasant to be around. They're very much like Slimer, where I'm sure they mean well. I'm pretty sure that they're doing their best, but as it stands right this second, not really the people that I personally want to be around. Let's light up all the fires over here. I haven't gotten all of my pedestals in place because it deleted some of them when I loaded my game. And so if you're looking for a way to get rid of the outlines, I did figure out how to fix that. So let's say that you put down something and you misclick it, and you put it in the wrong spot. If you want to get rid of that, all you have to do is exit out of the game and come back, and it'll delete it. Just make sure that you've got a shelter. And that is my boulder of solitude. You may not sit on it, Hey. These birds are particularly good at dodging large rock hammers. That makes sense given the fact that they're on an island covered in cannibals with rock hammers. Still. Alright, so that's done. Let's chop down some tree now. And we'll finish off our real shelter, the actual shelter. The shelter that is the premise for the remainder of our adventures. And once we get that done, we'll decide what we want to do with the remainder of our day. Really, all I need to do is kind of booby trap this area. I've been watching their walking paths, those of the cannibals, the cabinals, trying to figure out where it is that they approach from and where it is they exit from. And resoundingly, they seem to either come across the lake over there, or they come from behind us, and they approach the base that way. And so given the fact that they only have 2 trajectories that I've seen so far, I think where I'm going to be placing the large majority of my traps are going to be on the opposite side of the lake over there, and then I'll probably also coat the hillside up there with a couple of them just in case, to make sure that if anybody tries to truck on through, they end up getting perforated, or at least they end up with a few more holes through which they could be affixed to a binder or something of that nature. We're going to treat them like our schoolwork and just pump them full of holes. We need 8 logs for this? That's way more than I thought we needed. You'd figure I have memorized all these memories by now? No. You'd think I would memorize all of these. Oh good, I'm on fire again because I walked too close to my torch. Sigh. There goes my armor. All burned off. All of those lizards now dead in vain. What can you do about it? What can you do about it? Sometimes a lizard has to die. Sometimes they just gotta go, even if their armor is used for nothing. Should probably pick up leaves along the way too. Oh, ass. Okay, so we're already under attack again. That means I'm gonna retreat into my base and build some stuff here. They should catch themselves on fire, and in the interest of me not having to edit, I'm gonna do my best not to have the female on screen for as long as possible. Oh, never mind. She booked on out. She saw the other guys get caught on fire, and she was like, nope, that's not the way that I want to die. I want to die peacefully in my cannibal bed. Which actually, surprisingly, the cannibals are really, really good at crafting beds. Strangely, they're good at murder, they're good at destruction, but when it comes to creating beds, I think they've really kind of found their forte. They've come into their own right as craftsmen, and it's a shame that nobody will ever be aware of the fact that they're actually pretty good at crafting that sort of stuff, because they murder everybody. Is that fire lit? Oh, ass. Okay, so there are way too many fires around here. Actually, I stepped on this little, you see this little fireplace right there? I guess it's still barely lit. I would think it would only burn my toe, but it looks like it actually did a lot more damage, so just so you know, I didn't light myself on my torches. My torches, I've got plenty of clearance so long as I'm paying attention. Why are you picking up this giant rock? Oh well, let's move some of this stuff right here so that we have backup food in the case that, actually that'll also give us some Molotovs just in case we need to burn our foes to death. And so if we can find alcohol in here, that would be really good too. The other thing, I mean, I'm not really too stoked about looking around for new gear or anything like that. The reason being is that if every time I load my game I'm just going to lose it, it's really not in my best interest to spend a lot of time trying to stockpile things for the future. It's actually kind of, we want to be a little bit more migratory, we want to be sort of nomadic in that sense. If we can't hold on to anything that we have, we instead just kind of don't want to rely on having things. We just want to get used to be wanting all the time. I'm going to put in a log holder right here, and I think in the next couple minutes, damn it, I wish I could rotate the other direction. I really do. Yeah, close enough. Let's go gather some sticks and we'll have a log holder. And I believe there should be a bunch of sticks laying around the side of the hill up here. So this shouldn't be an endeavor that takes us too long. But what I'd like to do is we get the log holder, we deforest this hillside, and then we fill it on up. I don't know what the logs are going to be useful for later on. I'll probably use them for booby traps and things of that nature. But for now, is that punny if a booby trap is by nature, made out of nature, does that count as punny, or is that irony? I think it's punny. Pretty sure it's punny. It's poorly punny, but at the same time, when do I ever do anything but poor puns? My puns are always quite destitute when it comes to their means. Let's grab a few more sticks. There we are. 3 sticks gathered. Come to me, sticks. Gather yourselves within my loving embrace. Believe me, it is the most loving embrace you will ever feel, sticks. There it is. Good, good, good. And then once you have joined in, once you have joined the circle of loving, you shall then be put to good use as a log holder. For logs that we're probably not going to use for a very, very long time. Let's get our crafted axe here. And I think we should only have to chop down like 2 trees maybe? I think 2 trees should be suitable to fill that thing up, especially if they're of these thicker varieties. These trees with a bit more girth, and as I say that, I can notice the trees are looking a bit proud of themselves, so I'm going to stop wording myself so ambiguously, but nonetheless, 2 of these larger trees should be enough to get ourselves in position, I would think. Well, not this little tree. Not you. Not you. You don't get to come. Nope, not even once. You get to stay exactly where you're at. Deposit those in there, and those will be for our future projects, which I promise you will be super awesome. I'm working on a laser gun and a spaceship right now. I've got all kinds of future projects going on. I'm not sure that they're going to make a ton of progress, but I am doing my best. What are you taking practice swings right now? What's going on here, pal? Come on, let's get back to it. What in the hell? Is it because you're underwater? What's going on here? Alright, so apparently our chopping has, like, bugged out or something. So instead I'm gonna come back to here. Are we just, like, tired or some shit? Damn it. I hate it when things I don't understand happen. That's when I go into caveman mode and I just start ooga-booging everything and, like, smacking it in the face. Alright, well I'm gonna assume that something has gone wrong that I don't understand right now. Let's light the fire and we'll make ourselves some fish dinner. Some craft fish dinner. There we are. Some crafted fish dinner. And I don't even know where the fish goes on this fire. Oh, there it is. We actually put it up underneath the coals. We didn't even do it with tin foil. So I think it's going to become quite braised along the way, but I don't really mind. I'll eat food burned if it's the only food that we have. I've been getting back into barbecuing this summer, and oh my god, I love barbecuing so much. Part of it, I think, is making all of your neighbors jealous with the smell of the barbecue. You just sit out there, and there's like that giant puff of smoke as you cook things, and you're standing there like, I am man. I make food on fire. I don't know what it is that's so gratifying about that situation, but it's very gratifying. Now that we've made ourselves a fish, typically the only thing I make is I usually make like steak soaked in wine. That's usually where I start out, or like a beer soaked steak. Something that's marinated for a little while. Every now and again I'll make carne asada. Every now and again. Not very often, but the problem with carne asada is it just takes so long to actually marinate it properly, and I get impatient. I get like 2 or 3 days in and I'm just like, nope, I'm eating it now. It smells too good. The smell is coming through the plastic bag in my fridge. I cannot live like this any longer. This needs to be in my mouth right this second. It's the same reaction I have when I see a Butterfinger bar. Exact same reaction. It needs to be in my mouth right this second. Let's see if that fixed it. Did that fix it? Okay, I was just too exhausted. I was too exhausted to chop. I was not ready for the local Braves game. Wasn't ready to do the chop. Let's get this tree down. We'll probably try that little thick one over there too. And that should be just about all the logs that we need. I'm gonna booby trap this area right here. Let's go to our traps menu, and I don't know if traps are persistent, but I'm gonna try. So let's start with a happy birthday trap over here. And I've noticed they always sort of come in from this way. So put it right there. I can't promise that this is going to work in any respect because my best laid plans are almost always like, I don't know. I lay my plans and then they spend all their time smoking afterwards and then they just never seem to get back to work after I do them that favor, so I don't know. I just don't trust them to ever do what I plan on them to do. Still, at the same time, I would love for this thing to do... Log. It's not break time yet. It is not break time yet, Log. You are not off the clock yet. You are coming over here and you're going to be part of this super awesome instrument of death that I have crafted. I need one more of you, damn it. Alright. And I need a ton of sticks. Oh my god, how many sticks do I need? I need a veritable ass ton of sticks. Okay. Let's go track down... My Stickischborg is over here most of the time. I think this hillside is where I tend to find the largest majority of all of my sticks. Because they are sitting around over here, all over the place in fact. And I just kind of weave my way back and forth. And they respawn! That's the best part about them, is they're like these ghostly sticks that just sort of come back all by... Thought I heard the sound of walking right there for a moment. I don't think that I did though. I'm obviously making it up. When your life is on the line, why be worried about it? You can just come back later. I mean, it might be a threat to our life, but then again, it might not. And what if I waste that 13 seconds? That seems like a horrible thing to waste. 13 seconds? I mean, when was the last time you wasted 13 seconds? I've wasted a whole lot of 13 seconds. I look at the amount of minutes that I have wasted on YouTube, not necessarily producing content, but what I mean by that is I've wasted other people's minutes, like watching my content, and they actually give me how many minutes people have watched, and it's an insane amount. People have watched a lot of video on this channel. I can't even imagine how much video they must have watched on something like PewDiePie's, where it's just like, oh my god, some serious time wasting, some obvious procrastination has occurred in and about the region of everything that has to do with this channel. Grab that. It's getting kind of dark. I may actually take a nappy poo in just a moment to get our energy back and make sure that we can finish this thing in the morning without anything going awry. Oh, you can block with the stick? What? Somebody said you could block with the hand axe, but you have to swing first. I don't know. Doesn't appear to be working. Oh, we're one stick short. Welcome to my life. There we go. And then I'll chop this tree down because it's in the closest proximity. And that's what I go for. When it comes to things like this, just go with laziness. That's always the best policy, is just to be lazy as hell. And so, in the interest of following my general rule of life of being as lazy as hell, we will chop this tree down because it is the closest, and then we will make it into a machination of doom. Namely that right there. I'll probably try and make some kind of perimeter around my base so that if anybody wanders up in here, I want to see these things work. I've never gotten to deploy a trap on somebody, and believe me, I really, really do want to. That's kind of interesting the way that they've made that. Let me look. That actually makes sense, too. So you've got the two boulders. Those are affixed to a pivot, I would think. Those are affixed to a pivot. That's to the end. And then something to do with this bar right here is holding those up. I mean, you could do it like a figure 4 deadfall, maybe? That's still kind of cool. From a survivalist standpoint, I like stuff like this, like random little traps and things. And so when they're actually designed in a fashion that would work, I like to look at them for a moment and figure out exactly how that would work and what could possibly go wrong with them. Ooh, free stuff. You there. Ooh, you've got Aki Hall. That sounds nice. Nice little top up at the end of the evening. I guess we've got a few more things left that we can craft out of. The deadfall trap, I'm not really sure. So that's the figure 4 deadfall right there. Haven't really been able to get that one to function. What else do we have here? A noose trap. We can't make ropes though, so that's probably going to be implemented like in the next patch or something. Noose trap looks kind of cool though. I mean, noose trap. The only experience I have is with mouse traps, so noose trap seems kind of magical to me. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Balls. This is your fault, lizard. I blame you. Yeah, what did I do? You made me place things wrong. Now I'm all upset. My base has this nasty little ghostly thing sitting out there. It upsets me. It upsets me and it makes me upset. In the interest of being redundant. Okay, and so what should we do now? Let's make a little trip down to the boat. And as we make our trip on over to the boat, hopefully we'll find something else useful. Like I said, I'm going to try and play this without breaking the gameplay at all. I'll just do one episode right after the other. One by one. What is that? Something's glowing over here. That's slightly terrifying. Unless it's the fuselage. Oh, it's the fuselage. Okay. That doesn't worry me nearly as much. That's the only thing that I want to see glowing out in the middle of the darkness. The fuselage, perfectly fine. You can glow. You have my permission. But anything else, no glowing. Especially not you, Cabinals. If you get yourself, like, super mutant powers right now, I'm going to be up Shit's Creek. Up the Rio de Caca without a paddle. That would suck. Free sticks. I like free stuff, so I'll go ahead and go about stowing that for later. There's also a free meal right here, as always. I always leave it right there. You all know that I'm always pragmatic about leaving that thing there just in case, and it does respawn every time we load our game. So it's kind of a multi-purpose thing. A little bit dark and difficult to see. It's a tad dingy out here, but I'm going to try and grab some coins maybe off the beach. If we can get some coins, and if we can get some electrical supplies, we can blow some stuff up. Oh, I'm freezing to death. That's unfortunate. I guess we'll make ourselves a fire. That'll also illuminate the entire beach, so it's kind of a double whammy right now. You'll be able to see around, and maybe there'll be some things laying around aside from you lazy-ass starfish. How about you make yourself useful in a survival situation? He's like, I don't know, I'm pretty good at surviving. I regrow my own limbs. Can you do that? And I'm like, well, no, I can't. It seems to be an ability that is vastly outside my specifications, my product design. That'd be pretty badass, though. I'd be a lot less worried about, normal hazards like wheat threshers and things. Bandsaws, table saws, those normal things that haunt my dreams and make me worried that I'm going to lose pieces of myself. Yeah, out by the fire for a minute, and then we'll go out for a midnight swim to go grab ourselves the freebie alcohol off the back of the boat here. And then that'll probably be one of the last things we do during the course of the episode. Those flickers. Every time I get those flickers, I get worried. I don't think they mean anything. I think they just sort of happen. It's got to have something to do with the water. Oh, good. The ocean is freezing. Oh, that albatross scared the hell out of me. Oh my god. I mean, I'd rather have an albatross overhead than an albatross around my neck, that's for sure. Grab everything I can off the boat. Yachting magazine. Somebody's looking towards the future. I don't think this would be much more than like a 30-footer maybe. But anyways, yachting. One of those activities that po folks such as myself have no concept of. I always wanted to go out on a yakata. Yakatas always seem like fun. They've got a lot of extra letters, so you got to figure they do. I mean, anytime you put extra letters into something, you got to figure that it's got a whole bunch of fun. Ooh. I knew we'd find some metal or coins or something out here. Good. We can use those to make explosives later on, which is exactly what we're going to do with them. We're going to blow the hell out of some cabinals if we can manage it. I'm going to break the episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for another episode of The Forest. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and I do.